Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex from Alex's Innovations, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a shaped pumpkin bracelet. I have never done any sort of seasonal pattern before, and so I thought it would be fun since Halloween is a holiday that many of us in the United States celebrate, as well as internationally, and so I thought it would be fun for us to come together and to make a shaped Halloween bracelet. So this pattern is on Bracelet book. Right now it was made by Scoops Ahoy. By the way, I love them. They're so sweet and they have such cute patterns. For this bracelet, you'll need 5 strings of orange and then 5 strings of black, and I, because it's late and I'm tired, accidentally cut double that. I cut 10 strings of each, so I guess I'm going to have double the spookiness. So I'm fine with that. So you'll cut 5 strings of orange and 5 strings of black, and then make a beginning loop at the top like I did. You can find a tutorial on this in my comprehensive guide to starting and ending your bracelet, so you can check that out. Also, before making this bracelet, I recommend that you're very familiar with starting and ending a normal pattern with a shaped start, because this pattern is exclusively using this. That's how you make the shaped start part. So once you have the beginning loop, I've folded it in half so it creates this sort of loop right here. So I'm going to attach this to my clipboard, and I'm going to take the black string that I was knotting with the beginning loop, as well as the other one. And with the black string on the left, I'm going to make a 4 over the entire bundle, and then I'm going to take the right one and loop it on top, under the bundle, and through the hole I've created. And then I'm going to repeat this again, but reverse it. So I'm going to take this string, make a 4, and then with the other string bring it on top, under the bundle, and through the loop. And tighten. So now all of our strings are together, and so now I'm going to be separating this into 2 separate groups. The left group is going to have all black strings, and the right group is going to have all orange strings, and so this will be able to this way we'll be able to set up our bracelet. So that's what I'm just doing right now. You should have 10 black strings on the left, and you should have 10 orange strings on the right. And do your best to separate it down here as much as possible. You can do this by grabbing each string individually and then sort of pulling out like that, and that should easily detangle your bundle. Alright, now I'm going to be making a shaped start on this left and then eventually on the right. So I'll start on the left. So I'm going to take one of the black strings. I'll take the one that's closest to the center just to make things easier, and I'm going to do a backward forward knot over the entire bundle and leave it in the center. Then I'm going to take the next one, it's still black, and I'm going to make a backward forward knot over the entire bundle and then leave that in the center. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to keep going until all of the strings have been knotted down into the center. Alright, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to come over to the orange side, and I'm going to repeat the process, but I'm going to reverse the knots. Taking the string that's closest to the center, I'm going to do a forward-backward knot this time over the entire bundle of strings, pushing that knot as close up to the beginning as I can, and then leave that string towards the inside. And again, this is just the same technique as a regular shaped start, we're just adapting it to this pattern. I'm going to do the same thing, so take another string and then do a forward backward knot, and just repeat that down the line. Alright, and once you're done with that, then you have just created your shaped start, and so this is actually going to be the thing that is creating the shape. So now we can actually get into the pattern, and I'm going to be knotting diagonally to the right. So I'm going to start all the way at the top, and it looks like with the first black string, I'm going to be making 10 double forward knots over each of the orange strings. So I'm going to take, I think this is my first black string, and I'm going to do a double forward knot over each orange string. Again, I have a tutorial for basic knots up on my channel. You can check it out, the link is in the description. But like I said before, I do recommend you're familiar with both those and learning how to do a shaped start for normal patterns before you attempt this bracelet, because this bracelet heavily incorporates all of those techniques. Alright, and once you're done with that, then take the next black string in line, And it looks like we're making 4 double forward knots. Then we're making 2 double backward knots with the orange strings over the black strings. So I'm going to take my first orange string and I'm going to do a double backward knot. So that's knotting to the left over the black string. And then I'm going to take the next orange string and do another double backward knot over the black string. And then with that same black string, do 4 more double forward knots over each of the orange strings. Alright, and then for the third row, we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to be starting at the top for each of these. And with the next black string, we are going to be doing 5 double forward knots. And then for the next knot, we're going to take the orange string and do another double backward knot over the black string. And then put that orange string to the left. And then with the black string, we're going to do 4 more double forward knots. Alright, back up at the top again for our fourth row. We're going to be taking the black string and doing 1 double forward knot. Then grab the orange string and do 1 double backward knot. Then do 8 double forward knots, so finish off that row with the black string. Alright, next is the fifth row, so we're going to be taking the next black string and doing 1 double forward knot. And then with the orange string, we're going to do 1 double backward knot. Then with the black string again, we're going to do 2 double forward knots. Then with the next 2 orange strings, we're going to be doing double backward knots. So that's 1 double backward knot, and then the next double backward knot. Then with the black string, do 1 double forward knot. Then with the orange strings, do 2 double forward knots. And finally, with the black string, do 1 double forward knot. Back at the top again, take the black string and do 1 double forward knot. Then with the orange strings, do 2 double backward knots. Then with the black string, do 2 double forward knots. Then with the orange string, do 1 double backward knot. Then with the black string, do 2 double forward knots. Then with the orange string, do 1 double backward knot. And finally take that black string and do 1 double forward knot. Alright, then take the next string, and with the black string, do 1 double forward knot over the orange string. Then do 3 double backward knots with the orange string over the black string. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then for the rest of that row, do double forward knots with the black string. Alright, now take the next string and do 2 double forward knots with the black string over the orange strings. Then do 3 double backward knots with the orange string over the black string. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then for the rest of that row, do double forward knots with the black string over the orange string. Alright, we're almost done with this black pumpkin, so let's keep going. Now the second to last string, we're going to do 3 double forward knots over the orange string. Then we're going to do 4 double backward knots with the orange string over the black string. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then finish off that row with all double forward knots with a black string. Okay, and then the last row is pretty easy. Just take that final black string and do all double forward knots over all of those orange strings. Alright, so that's the first pumpkin, and so now I'm going to show you how to end this first pumpkin so we can get him to be as shaped as he was up top. So I'll start on the right side. So take the first 2 black strings, and with the one closer to the center, so this one, do a double forward knot, and then group those 2 strings together. Then take the next string in line, and then do a double forward knot over those 2. Pull pretty tightly so it goes all the way towards the bracelet, if this is considered a bracelet at this point, and group those together. And then take the next string and do the same thing, do a double forward knot over all of those strings. Then keep going down the line. Make sure you pull really, really tight because you don't want there to be any gaps between your end and the bracelet itself. So I'm just pulling really tight. Alright, and then I'm going to do this on the other side. Take the 2 orange strings that are all the way on the left, and with the one that's closer to the center, so this one, I'm going to do a double backward knot. And then I'm going to group those 2 together. And I'll take the next one and do a double backward knot over those 2, and then group those 3 together. And then I'm going to continue just like I did on the other side, so grabbing those strings together, taking one, doing a double backward knot. Alright, so that's the first pumpkin done, and I was thinking about whether or not I should show the second part of the pumpkin, and I was thinking that I should because it could be really hard to watch this and then every time I say black, think orange, and every time I say orange, think black. Is orange the new black? I'm not really sure, so I figured I'll just show you again because the knots are exactly the same, it's just the colors are reversed. So you're in luck, basically. So now I'm going to start on the second pumpkin, and I'm going to separate these 2 bundles. They're kind of already separated for us, but we're going to be creating the same shaped start that we did earlier, just reversing the order of the colors. So with these orange strings, I'm going to take one that's closest to the center, and then I'm going to do a backward forward knot over the entire bundle, so it ends up in the center. Next, I'm going to take the next one, do a backward forward knot, and then leave it in the center. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing, going down the line until all of them have been turned into that shaped start. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to just be repeating that same thing on the other side, just like we did earlier. This is just the exact same repeat, it's just we're switching the colors. I'm going to take the string that's closest to the center, so it looks like it's this one, and over the whole bundle, I'm going to do a forward backward knot, and then leave that string in the center. Then I'm going to take the next string closest to the center and do the same thing. Just like all the other times, just keep knotting, so taking one string, doing a forward backward knot, and leaving it in the center. Okay, and then once you're done with that, we're going to be starting the actual knotting again. I'm just going to resecure my bracelet so that it doesn't slip, but this pumpkin is still there. It's just hiding a little bit. So first we're going to take that first orange thread, and I'm going to do 10 double forward knots. So that's one over each of the black strings. Alright, for the next one, we're going to take the next orange string and do 4 double forward knots. And then I'm going to do 2 double backward knots with the black string. So with the black string, I'm going to do 1 double backward knot. Put that off to the side, and then the second one, double backward knot, off to the side. And then I'm going to do 4 more double forward knots with the orange string. Alright, with the next orange string, I'm going to do 5 double forward knots. And then with the black string that's next, I'm going to do 1 double backward knot. And then I'm going to do 4 more double forward knots. With the next orange string, I'm going to do 1 double forward knot. And then I'm going to do 1 double backward knot with the black string. And then I'm going to do 8 more double forward knots. Next, I'm going to take the next orange thread and do 1 double forward knot. Then 1 double backward knot. Then 2 double forward knots. Then 2 double backward knots. Then 1 double forward knot. Then 2 double backward knots. And finally 1 double forward knot. Alright, next we're going to take the next orange thread and do 1 double forward knot, then 2 double backward knots, then 2 double forward knots. He looks like the Kool-Aid Man at this point, honestly. Like, before we get the nose in, I think he looks like the Kool-Aid Man. Just my opinion, though. And then we're going to do 1 double backward knot, then 2 double forward knots, and then 1 double backward knot. And 1 double forward knot. Alright, next we're going to do 1 double forward knot up here. Then we're going to do 3 double backward knots. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to do double forward knots for the rest of the row. Alright, next we're going to do 2 double forward knots. Then 3 double backward knots. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And the rest of the knots are double forward knots. Alright, and then we're almost done, so take this string and do 3 double forward knots. and then 4 double backward knots. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then finish up with 3 double forward knots with the orange thread. Finally, take that last orange thread at the top and do 10 double forward knots. Alright, and that's about it. So we're done with our second pumpkin, and then I'll show you how to finish him so we can have his ends just like the first one. So on the right, take the 2 orange threads that are all the way on the right, and with the one that's closer to the center, we're going to do a double forward knot, and then group those together. And take the next one in line and do the same thing. And this is just repeating everything that we've been doing. Nothing's different, it's just the colors that are different. But just repeat this down the line until you finish up with the last orange thread. Alright, so as we're finishing up with that, let's go to the other side, and let's take the 2 strings that are all the way on the left, and with the one closer to the center, do a double backward knot, and group those together, and then take the third one and do another double backward knot, group those together, then take the next one and just keep repeating this until you reach the center. Alright, and as we're finishing up, your bracelet should look like this if you've watched this video so far. And so you can go back to the timestamp shown here if you want to watch how I made these ones again. Your bracelet should look like this when it's all done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more bracelets, please feel free to follow my Instagram and also check out my Etsy shop. This bracelet actually will be for sale in my Etsy shop. And there should be 2 of them available actually because I cut strings for double. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a happy and safe Halloween, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!